One of the most nerve-wracking parts of public speaking is the 1 hour before you begin presenting. Your body's full of nerves, your mind's full of worries, and the seconds are feeling like hours as the clock slowly ticks by. Well, today, I'm going to share with you 4 things that you can do before your presentation that will make you feel more confident, composed, and ready to go out and perform. If you're new to this channel, my name's Kyle Murter. I've delivered over 1,000 presentations to all kinds of audiences. I've won multiple national and international public speaking championships, and now I want to help people like you speak with more confidence and deliver your message in a compelling way. So subscribe to the channel if you're interested in doing that. Okay, let's imagine you only have 45 minutes before your presentation begins. What are the 4 things you should be doing? Well, assuming that you're already at the venue, because you should definitely get there early, the first thing you should do is you should check your tech. If you are using your laptop for a PowerPoint, for a demo, for a video, or for anything, you need to make sure that it's working with the projector or the screen that you have available at the venue you're presenting in. I cannot tell you how many times as an audience member I've been sitting in the audience watching some presenter wrestling with their laptop because it's not working. They check too late, and therefore them trying to rectify the problem eats into their presentation time. They end up starting late, the audience are annoyed. It is a terrible way to begin your presentation. So avoid the tech problems by testing them out 45 minutes before your presentation begins. Now, you might find that you do have problems and you simply can't find a solution before the presentation. That means you're going to have to divert to your plan B. And I hope you have a plan B, whether that be using a flip chart, for instance, or having no slides at all and maybe just writing things on a whiteboard or something like this instead. Either way, check your tech, because if you don't check yourself, you might just wreck yourself. Let's say your tech is now as sound as a pound. What you then want to do, and this is step 2, is meet your audience. Often audience members tend to arrive early in presentations, and this is a great opportunity for you to connect with them. Instead of staying in what I like to call the speaker's corner, which is when the speaker stands in the corner of the room while the audience members are talking with each other, join them and get involved in the conversation. This will be really beneficial for your presentation because number 1, it helps you build rapport with your audience before you've even started. And number 2, it helps you get to know your audience. You can learn about what they find important, what they're looking to gain from today. And then if you're good, you can tailor your content for those specific needs or wants that the audience have brought up. Now that you've checked your tech and you've met your audience, you probably have about 20 minutes before your presentation begins. At this point, I recommend rehearsing your opening in your noggin. By noggin, I mean your head. And it's very important to run through those opening sentences of your presentation because the opening is the scariest part. It's where the nerves are at their height, at their peak, and it's where all eyes are on you in a very expectant way. So you really want to nail the opening because if you can start well, you're likely to continue well in your presentation. So just run through in your head exactly what you plan to say in your opening lines. And even better, if you want, you can take yourself off to a quiet room or even the bathroom, and you can actually say out loud, assuming no one's in the cubicle next to you, what the opening lines of your presentation will be. Hearing them out loud is even better than hearing them in your head. Either way, find a way to practice that opening. Trust me, you will be happy you did this when you start your presentation. Now we're at the stage where there's only 5 minutes left before game time. So what should you be doing in those 5 minutes? Well, there's very little else you can do apart from this. Use affirmations. Now, an affirmation is basically a sentence or phrase which gives you confidence, which makes you feel more calm, which makes you feel ready to perform. For example, I used to have a very bad habit of starting my presentations really fast. I would rush into them, I'd talk really fast like this because I was so nervous and excited, and I just sort of exploded when I began. And so I had to find a way to slow myself down. So an affirmation I used to achieve this was this one. Composure creates champions. I'd literally tell myself that again and again in my head before my presentations. Composure creates champions. Composure creates champions. Composure creates champions. Composure creates champions. And then when I stood up to speak, I tended to be more composed and I tended to flow more smoothly in the opening of my presentation. And that came from me repeating that affirmation in my head. So you've got to find an affirmation which works for you. Something which helps you calm down, feel more in control, and feel more confident before you can begin. And if you want some more affirmation ideas, check out this video where I talk you through 2 other powerful affirmations which you can use before your next presentation.